Hello everyone and welcome to Destin Legends. My name is Ali, the creator of the game, and I'll be your host through the next few videos as we take an in-depth look on how to play the game. So what is Destin Legends? Destin Legends is an RPG card game where you use your party of heroes, called Legends, to defeat your opponent. You do this by fighting creatures to level up, allowing you to outfit your party with an arsenal of stronger and stronger weapons in an attempt to gain a strategic advantage. Let's start with how to set up the game. For this demonstration, we're going to be using the 2-player battle set available on DestinLegends.com, along with the playboard. Using the playboard is not required, but it helps keep things organized, especially if you're new to the game. The 2-player battle set includes everything you need to start playing. First, you're going to see the welcome letter. As you know, this game was funded through a crowdfunding website called Kickstarter.com. This letter is a small thank you to those who contributed to the game. Next is your HP and status effect tokens. We'll go over those in a bit. Next, you'll find a bag with a few dice in it. In the bag, you'll have 2 6-sided dice and 1 12-sided die. Finally is the star of the show, the 2 battle decks, Combustion and Eradication, representing the fire and dark elements respectively. Go ahead and unwrap your battle decks. Now before you shuffle them, there are a few cards you want to take out. If you flip to the back, you'll see a bunch of the cards that don't have the standard Destin Legends card backing. Go ahead and take these out and set them to the side. We'll talk more about these later. And go ahead and remove your 3 legend cards. These are your heroes. You should be left with 57 cards. Destin Legends uses randomized decks, so go ahead and shuffle the remaining cards really well. One final thing to keep in mind: if you have a first edition of the game, at the very bottom of the fire deck is a special promotional legend card called Corey. Corey was one of our biggest contributors, and we made him a character in the game. You can swap him out with one of your parties if you like. If not, go ahead and set him to the side. Now let's go over the setup. You're going to want a clean, flat surface to play on. The main battle area of the game is called the Battle Grid. It consists of 3 rows of 3 spaces. Under that is a little space for your HP tokens, and below that is a spot for the weapon cards. Place your legend cards down on the closest row to you, and your opponent does the same. The placement doesn't really matter, as it's not going to really affect your strategy too much. This should leave an empty row in the middle of the battle grid. If you're not using a playboard, just make sure there's enough space between you and your opponent legends to fit another row of cards. Next, take your shuffled deck of cards and place it to the right of your legends. Each player then draws 7 cards from the top. To move on, you need to make sure to have at least 1 level 2 or 3 weapon, and at least 1 tier 1 creature. The tier of a creature is shown in the upper right corner of the card. We'll go over tiers later on. If you don't have these cards, set aside the 7 cards and draw 7 more. You're allowed to keep doing this until your deck runs out. After you're happy with your hand, go ahead and shuffle the rest of the cards one more time and set them to the right. Now there's one last step in the game setup. In Destin Legends, the object of the game is to defeat your opponent's legends. You do that by fighting them with your weapons and reducing their HP to 0. Even if you've never played an RPG, you're still probably familiar with the concept of HP or health points. Each of your legends start with 10 HP and gain more as they progress through the game. Your party starts out at level 1, and you can progress all the way to level 10. We've included a handy HP level guide, which is also printed on the playboard, that shows you how much HP your party has at the given level. As you can see, level 1 gets 10 HP. So go ahead and give each of your legends 10 HP worth of tokens. And with that, you're ready to play Destin Legends. If you have any questions about setup, leave it in the comments below and we'll gladly help. And be sure to join us in our next video, where we'll show you everything that you'll need to know about turn structure.